Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're having a very good day. So I have my book and movie review for Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Guys, can I tell you something? I love this book. I do. It was so good. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It totally took me by surprise. I was very afraid I might dislike this book, that I thought it would be too dry, and I totally misjudged this book. It was very lovely and romantic and dramatic, and we will get into that in the reviews, but overall I was very taken aback, and it's probably my favorite classic so far out of this year. Let's get started with this review, guys. Let's start off with book review. If you guys don't know what Pride and Prejudice is all about, let me tell you. The story opens up with the Bennet family. We have Mrs. Bennet relaying some news to Mr. Bennet. Apparently there's a new resident at Netherfield Manor, and he is rich and single, and Mrs. Bennet is desperately trying to marry all of her daughters off: Jane, Elizabeth, Lydia, Kitty, and Mary, and she believes that he may be the one to marry one of them. Mrs. Bennet, she's the new resident at Netherfield Manor is Mr. Bingley, and through events and circumstances, the Bennet family meets Mr. Bingley as well as his sister, Caroline Bingley, and Mr. Bingley's very good friend, Mr. Darcy. We all know the lovely story Pride and Prejudice revolves around Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet. You know, first impressions not so great between Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy at first, but through events and circumstances, yet again, their relationship starts to unfold and develop and change, and I loved it so. It was fantastic. So next, guys, let's talk about the characters. Let's talk about Elizabeth first. She's very smart, very level-headed. She's loyal to her family, to her sister Jane especially. She's observant and very unafraid to speak her mind, and I love that about Elizabeth. She is probably one of my favorite female characters that I've ever encountered. She's not annoying at all. She is actually very relatable and identifiable, and I love her development throughout the story as well. She changes. I mean, she has her flaws, but it's great when a character recognizes when they're at fault. Yeah, fantastic. As far as Mr. Darcy, so there's definitely mystery surrounding his character. He's definitely misunderstood. He's a proud character, but again, like Elizabeth, he recognizes his faults and his flaws, and he starts to change and develop. It's amazing. Mr. Darcy is super endearing, sincere. I don't think there was enough Mr. Darcy. I was kind of flipping ahead to see when he would come up next because I couldn't wait to read about him more, and yeah, he's great. Of course, the side characters, we have Mr. Bennet, who's amazingly awesome and funny. Mrs. Bennet, she's crazy. You know, she loves her daughters a whole lot, and you know, that comes about in really motherly ways. Let's just say that. I think Mrs. Bennet is very relatable. You know, the mom, like Mrs. Bennet. We have Lydia and Kitty, who are the silly girls. They're silly. Mr. Collins, he's amazing. Very serious. He's very sincere in what he's saying, but it comes out so funny, and I couldn't stop laughing. The conversation between Elizabeth and him was like, oh my gosh, what is happening right now? It's so funny. Did I tell you how much fun it is? Okay. Next, guys, let's talk about the plot. It's dramatic, it's romantic. The romantic aspect in Pride and Prejudice isn't overwhelming and in your face and gushy and gross. It's very subtle and sweet and endearing and very relatable. It's not over the top. It's just very subtle and just very nice. I thought the flow was great as well. Very steady pace throughout the book. I think the mystery surrounding Mr. Darcy and seeing how their relationship will grow and develop between Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth was very intriguing, and I wanted to read more and more and see what's gonna happen next. What made it fast-paced for me was the family drama, sinister motives between certain individuals, and just a lot of drama. Pride and Prejudice, which is a classic, all the themes and messages are very current and relevant and relatable. From expectations of women in society, from family drama, relationships, and rivalry. So I appreciate that very, very much with Jane Austen. She's fantastic. And as far as the writing is concerned, once I got into the flow and the story of Pride and Prejudice, I was absorbed in it. Yes, there are some passages which I had to reread a few times just to absorb the meaning of what was going on, but for the most part, it's fantastic, it's lovely. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to give Pride and Prejudice 5 stars out of 5. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. Next guys, let's talk about the movie review. All of the info is right up here. So the movie I watched was the 2005 movie adaptation. I really want to check out the BBC miniseries Pride and Prejudice, but I will get to that hopefully this month, and hopefully I can let you guys know what I think about it at the end. But I watched the 2005 movie adaptation. Joe Wright is the director, and our stars are Keira Knightley, Matthew Macfadyen, and Donald Sutherland. I was so excited to watch the movie. It looks great. I thought Matthew Macfadyen looks great too. Let's talk about the acting, how the actors went. I thought for the most part all of the actors portrayed their characters really well. Not just Keira and Matthew and Donald Sutherland, but those who played Lydia and Kitty, especially Jane, who has a very sweet, quiet, loving disposition. I thought the actress who played her captured her really well. And Mary, who doesn't really stand out too much in the book, she's definitely a standout in the movie, which I really liked. And you could definitely see the difference in disposition between Mary's character and Lydia and Kitty, which is awesome. For the most part, I thought the acting was really well done. I love the chemistry between Keira Knightley and Matthew Macfadyen. I thought their relationship on screen was very well done, very sweet. I know that staring and long glances can be creepy, but Matthew Macfadyen does it so well. It's just so endearing and just so sweet how he looks at Keira Knightley. Love his eyes. Fantastic eyes. As far as the direction is concerned, beautiful. Joe Wright is fantastic at directing these time period movies. He's done a lot of them. Not only are his shots beautiful, but the shots that he does is very balanced and symmetrical. You can't help it, especially in the setting. The houses and the architecture, and it's very easy on the eye, very beautiful. And the score too, oh my gosh, lovely score. The piano, it's very sweet. And the setting and the costumes are on point. The movie definitely embodies the time period and the story very, very well. So overall, I thought the movie was very well done, very beautiful to look at. Next guys, let's talk about the book to movie adaptation comparison. I thought for the most part, the movie was gorgeous, and the book to movie adaptation was very well done. I thought the changes and alterations I didn't mind. Aspects of the plot that were left out I didn't mind as well. You know, I wouldn't have mind more walks throughout the film, but that's okay. For the most part, all the major plot points are covered. There are definitely some characters that are downplayed in the movie, from Caroline Bingley to Mr. Wickham. Their character and their motives and their just whole character arc wasn't played up as much as in the book. So with that being said guys, I'm going to give Pride and Prejudice, starring Keira Knightley and Matthew Macfadyen, 5 stars out of 5. I'm biased. I just love the book and I just love the movie. I thought Matthew did an excellent job portraying Mr. Darcy. When Mr. Darcy is walking through the field at sunrise, how do you not fall apart watching that? When I fangirl, it's very inward, and so in my head, it's crazy up in here. It's crazy. Insane. So yeah, that's everything guys. That's my book and movie review of Pride and Prejudice. Overall, the plot and the characters were so well-rounded and developed and had depth, and the commentary of this time period and women, it's just overall a great story. Anyone who's intimidated by the writing or by the story, you just gotta take a chance and check it out. You don't know what you're missing. So that's everything guys. I will talk to you later and have a good one. Bye.